Alright, first YouTube video ever. So my name is Alex Kemp, and amateur bodybuilder, training for a few years now, and we're running up to shows coming up in September. So that's the plan, especially going forward with these videos, is sort of give everybody an insight into what's going on, how that's going to work. So I'm currently 19 weeks out from my first show, which is the Racetrick Royal Rumble, which is 2 Bros Pro show. So I'm looking to maybe compete in sort of the NPC, but in Britain. So that's looking towards to be an IFBB Pro, basically. So that's the goal, but in time. So we have none of this road to pro bullshit. I'm 25, currently 111 kilos, so I'm 5'10", and the category I do is Classic Class C. So I've got to be 93 kilos sub. So you'll see over the next 19 weeks a big change. This fat face will disappear, and yeah, we'll have some, hopefully give everybody an insight into what bodybuilding, classic physique and all that sort of thing in the British scene is about. Today, doing some push, and I'm training with Ali Lantos here.
Bikini athlete.
Young
Definitely
lady
not
bikini
classic
athlete.
Yeah, and I'm 18 weeks out from my first show of the season, so this will be my 3rd season. This is your second. So.
Well, this will be my third show, so I'm definitely doing the Racetrick Classic, and I'll be doing the Arnold Classic as well, which is about 2 weeks after. Potential for some other shows before, after, dependent on how things go. So there we go. We're ready to get inside.
Let's go.
So we're just warming up in a minute, get some blood in the titties before we do some big compound movements. It's just like 2 or 3, maybe 4, work up to 8 to 12, and just do a couple of those, get some blood in there, feel everything, all the juices flowing, then we move on to Smith presses. The glasses are off now, it's Superman mode. So doing what some people would consider cheating, but it's not really, reverse banding the movement, so it takes a bit of pressure off the bottom of the movement where your shoulders are the most vulnerable. I'm not using the thickest band either, it's like 10 to 12 kilos of pressure, I think. I should probably use a bit more, but it seems to work, so I think we're okay. So when you're doing anything sort of chest pressy, anything sort of bench wise, you get a lot of guys, especially on flat, you'll see them when they're pressing, when they come down, they cave in like this, thinking that it's going to like spring them out. And in fact, you want to be nice and taut and have your back arch, so then you can really engage your lats. Pull in, stay strong up here, press out. Once you start getting like this, you're going to have a whole load of shoulder problems and that sort of thing. So you want to bring that bar to your chest, rather than just bringing your chest to the bar as such. You just have to sort of keep it going. So supports and that sort of thing. My elbows don't hurt, but I don't want them to hurt. So it's better to just start off using them before you need them. Going with the strength shop at the minute. Obviously any of you who followed me on Instagram or whatever for a while know I'm obviously with Mr. Bridgman. But he hasn't released any of the single ply sleeves yet, as far as I'm aware. At the minute it's only neoprene. I'm not a big fan of the neoprene. So I'm waiting for those, and I'm sure he can send some my way. And yeah, but these, I've used the strength shop ones before, and I think they're like IPF approved. But these ones are a bit bigger, a bit longer, and they suit my my smaller wrists a bit better. So just plug in the 1RM, you know. So 1RM, 1MR. It's good stuff. You can find it on Josh's website, and I'm sure, you know, it's good stuff. So I would rate it. I would get it. Right, this is my first working set, 10 to 15, and then I'll do my 6 to 10 efforts on a heavier one second. And everybody I speak to is like, oh, why did you back off first? Back off. prefer to do the lighter set first because I get warmer and feel safer. It comes from when I was training in lockdown when it was cold and I had to train outside, and if I was doing the heavier stuff first, I just end up with joint pain. And I've found since then, doing it this way round is much safer for me, and I just get a better pump. So, and I can't use as heavy weight, which means again, it's safer. So if you don't need to use as much weight, then why would you? If you're still going to get as much out of using less, I would. Safer and probably better in the long run. So I'll do the set. This one back. Alright, give me a minute. Got 12 on the last one, so I will attempt 8 on this one to see how it goes. But this movement for me has been one which I've been doing it for a long time now, and it's sort of stagnated a bit. So it might be one to swap out. Prep starts next week, see how it feels, but obviously, like, for those of you who know, which is everybody who follows my Instagram, I'm not a natural athlete, so obviously the substance side of things is increasing, or will be. So over time, your lifts do return, and it's not so much of a big worry when you're on TRT and maybe you get a bit weaker, you get a bit smaller. It's natural, it's going to happen, or it's not natural, but it's going to happen. So I wouldn't worry about it. Like with this, I was slinging around 3 plates a side, and now it's like 2.5 and a bit. I'm not too worried about it because I know it'll come back. So it's one of those things you can't be self-conscious about it because you'll just get in your head, and then you'll be one of those guys or ladies who get stuck on cycle forever because you're like, I'm not very strong, and it's like, just don't worry about it. Just take your TRT, fix yourself, and then get back to it. All right, let's do this. Right, done that. Woo. That's it. Problem with having shit eyes is that trying to find plates in the gym, it's not easy. It's just...
Is that a 15 plate?
Yeah. That's be a 50, just this big.
Oh, okay,
This is the problem with being 110 plus, is anything body weight is just stupid. So 5 kilos is all we're managing right now. Always put your weights away. So we just did incline press, dips, which I swapped out for flat press variation. I was doing dumbbell flat press a lot, and I just couldn't get it. It was really unstable. I couldn't progress it. It was really odd. Like each week it would depend. Like some weeks I could use 45 kilos for 10, and then another week I could only use like 35. I just couldn't lock it in. So I got rid of that. started on dips. I used to do a lot of dips back in the day, but I didn't do them for a long time. And now sort of bringing them back in, better form, trying to tighten things up, and just really focusing on that peak contraction at the top and getting the stretch at the bottom. As the press is done, which I know people already think like 4 sets of presses for a push day, it's not much. It seems to fucking work. So you can question Josh Bridgman on that one because he's the one who writes the programs. The next we've got pec deck, just 2 sets here, and that's again just getting more blood into the chest, opening everything out, getting a nice big stretch at the bottom, and then move on to some delts after that. That's the first set, 10 to 15, and I got 15, so I'm happy. So I'll put it up, probably 5, maybe 10 kilos. The new piece, well, new gym, new piece. So still getting used to it, but it's very nice, like right sort of in this part of the chest, especially when you get the stretch. There's some good new bits, but I know we're getting more, so I'm excited. New King's Gym, new equipment. It's all good times, good vibes. Haven't even touched it. 14, come on. Press it through. Come on now. 15, let's get it. Let's see one more. Slow the way down, slow the way down. Power, yeah. There we go. That's the one. This is us now. They're not as pumped. Well, they're too pumped to do it properly. That's apparently what the people want.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that that's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I need.
Just like right across here, just this top line. You see like a little, oh, I need to be in the light. I've got like some new stretch marks that have appeared over the past few months. I'm very proud of them, showcase them here. But you can barely see it at the minute, and I'm fuming about it now. Come on, that's it. More now, come on, keep the control, here we go. Yes, come on, here's 2 then. Show me 2. Yes, squeeze it. One more. There we go. In there, yep. Yes. Very nice. Very pumped. So with dumbbell raises, I don't really do anything stupid heavy because I can't feel it. And I know, like, you know, people are like, oh, you don't really need to feel the reps, it's all that shit. You do. With delts, I find at least, like, unless you're taxing them, other stuff's gonna take over, like your traps can take over. Whilst you still want big traps, you're doing a lateral raise for your delt. You're not doing it for up here. So I like to use a lighter weight and really just get in there and get a nice bit of blood through the delts, because there's no point in just being like a fucking seagull or a chicken, you know, like fucking throwing them around. So I hate that shit. So nice controlled, and then you still reach failure. It's not that you don't get there. So I'd rather do that. And then we do 20 to 30, and then 15 to 20. So again, nothing too crazy, but literally like 10 kilos for the first set in each hand, and then probably 12. Like, you don't need to use a lot of weight. Well, in time you might be able to, but for now, it's still small, half natty Alex. So no big weights, no super big weights just yet. Come on, last year bikini. See what big it looks like. Come on, get some delts. Here we go. My arse is going straight out this way. The cheek.
Have you seen his booty?
I see the
He's swallowed whole.
Not a clue how heavy this is right now. It's really light. Same again on this, because the elbows are not a very strong joint. It's a bit like I have really shit knees, and your elbow is similar to your knee in the way that this is effectively the same as your quad. That's what I find anyway. Is that I've got to do high rep stuff on this side of the arm and this side of the leg in order to feel it. Whereas on backside and the bicep, I can go heavy as I want and it's usually fine. So it's just that sort of finding different stuff out with yourself when you're training. Like some guys can go super heavy on triceps, but I've got to do a number of warm-up sets and then some higher rep stuff in order to get a good connection, which is on your stuff involving elbows and joints like that. You really want to feel the muscle and avoid that joint pain, because once you get it, it's not going away. Like, you can do a lot of rehab and it will get better, but you don't want to have to do that in the first place. So better to be safe and just train within your means and train effectively. It's like 20. We just watched you walk all the way up.
Yeah, I was like, don't look at
This is for the length and position of the arm. So just from sort of here to here. So you really want to get it all the way extended. A lot of guys will do a seated dumbbell curl for that. I don't like it because I end up in sort of like this position and end up turning out that way. I'm not a fan. I much prefer a standard dumbbell curl to anything like that, but I find if I'm doing it with two, I always end up in sort of like this position with the arm a little bit bent, whereas in this, you want to come all the way down like this and pull straight up like that. So it's a little bit of a different variation. I find doing it single arm really helps you focus on that individual bicep and just get a whack-off pump. So let's try and get one now. So 3 sets on this, all pretty high reps. It'll be 20 to 30. No, 15 to 20, and 10 to 15, and 6 to 10. So I go a bit heavier on biceps than I do triceps, but it still does the job, so let's go.
Yep. Again.
Whoa. Got some fucking balloon up now. It's fully lengthened, isn't it? Can you do it just straight like that? Fully supinated. Yeah, like that.
I felt that. I felt the difference.
There we go. Pull it through now. The whole arm is full, aside from here. Right now. That's it. That's it. Nice and slow. Try one. Very good. Very good.
Might just grow from that extra arm.
It's weird hitting biceps. You think, oh, it's just biceps. They fuck you up.
It does. I got a rest.
So whenever I do easy bar curls, I'm like, oh, it's just an easy bar curl. And you finish, you're like, I've just done fucking squats. I did them with Connor once, Launder. And I don't think I remember the next day hearing that he was absolutely fucked after the workout. And I was like, I did a good job, clearly. And then he nicked my workout. Used it with some of the other boys. I think he did a video with it. And I was there like, you've stolen my workout. So technically it's Josh's, but it's I'm gonna take credit. So that's that. Walk around. You'll be doing the Louis Moylan, just this all the time. Nice. You're done.
I'm sure you're better for
When you get in the shower later, you try and wash your hair and your arm just gets stuck. You know. Time for some calves. Excellent news. No slip. Hi. You can't see my calves, so it's going to have to be the facial expressions, isn't it? This isn't very heavy at the minute. Just warming up, really. But it's a new piece for Kings. We haven't had a standing calf raise in a long, long time, at least not in Croydon. So I'm happy to rinse the shit out of this and see if we can't stack it in a few weeks. So help grow some bigger calves, because they're all right, but they can never be too big. So especially for classic, because loads of guys don't have them, so you got to have them.
I don't know, have you seen Brian's?
Brian's huge. He's not classic. Brian's like 2-on-2 Mr. Olympia in 5 years. If he actually, the guy's natty as well. Like, scary. Now, how many of you are going to be crying that I'm wearing Jordans and doing calf raises? They're trainers. Just fucking wear them. Yeah, they got creases in already. I haven't had them that long.
How's a calf workout going?
Oh yeah, it's good. Some good calves going on over there. Huh? Yes. That's how you do it. Full body shakes on every movement. I don't care what it is.
Let's get the close up of the crease. The pain.
You want in?
No.
No. Ow. So I do calves every other session in tandem with abs. It's just for frequency purposes. If you do it just on legs, you're sort of missing out on the opportunity to do it more frequently, which gives you more opportunities for growth. Well, more opportunities to progress and more opportunities therefore to grow. I do 2 exercises and I'll have a rotation of 3 exercises, which are normally, Old King's Gym was the sled, the donkey, the seated, but now we've got the standing. So I'm gonna swap out the sled and do the standing for a bit, because I basically maxed the sled out. I mean, I've maxed the donkey out as well, but slightly different movement. So I'll just chuck in, like today was the standing and the seated. Next time it will be the standing and the donkey, and then after that I'll move to the donkey and the seated, and then back through. But yeah, it's just every other session. So it's quite brutal on the calves. I mean, at one point Josh had me doing calves on every leg day as well. So I ended up with quite a bit too much calf frequency. My ankles started to hurt. So I pulled those out, and I found it's been great since. But it really gives you the opportunity to increase your strength on the calves, and that's how they're going to grow. You've got to get them stupid strong, like fill in stacks, and that's just how it's got to be, because they carry you around all day. And you know, I don't know if there's much credence to that, because you can do higher rep ranges and that sort of thing and still blitz the shit out of them. But I find lower rep ranges really work on the calves, and just keeping the form as tight as you can. Even those last, the last couple of reps there might have been a bit looser, but still getting it there, and I'm still able to progress those reps. I'm still able to get more out. It's when it gets to that point where you let your reps get too sloppy and the variables start to change, and it's not exactly like workable anymore. So calves, hammer the shit out of them, but with the best form you can, and just be patient, because it will come in time, and track, and make sure you track everything, because you're not going to remember every single set you did, but if you've written it down, you can see the last time you did it, progress from there, and that's the way to go really. So today, 4 sets, and just trying to beat last time basically. That's everything, that's everything. I've just lost all my upper body.
Hey, this is the lighting for you. I can't lie. You look very tanned.
I look tanned?
No.
Say what?
Thanks.
Keep your chin up.
Yeah.
Bring that chest up a little bit more. There we go.
Sweat. Oh, there we go. Your turn.
Here first.
This is 2 rows.
No, this is pretty good.
Ooh, the hand flick. That was nice.
And then we'll just smoothly transition into 2 rows.
It's kind of relaxing. You coach guys as well? Yeah, a smart man. What she sees.
Coming.
Oh shit. What?
There. Keep that really tall. Hips this way.
Yeah.
We'll rotate your arms.
My word.
Yeah. This is it. Video.
Oh, look at this.
You
I'm a
can take
bikini
that
girl
in
now.
routine.
Huh?
You can take that in routine.
Just straight up.
Straight from here. There.
And fucking move. I'm only going to take it off in a second. Just a nice little push workout. It's my usual. I've been doing that one for a while. Might have to make a couple of amendments just to maybe the Smith incline, but we'll see as things progress. This is the starting point now. I'm starting prep on Monday, so I need to get as many cheat meals in as I can until now. It is currently Friday night, so we've got to gorge myself. Not really. Let's not do that. See, a little bit off-season chunk at the minute. Yeah, just stare down here. But it will all come off. I've got 19 weeks. Currently 111. Weight cap's 93. You know, there's plenty to come off, but there's plenty to grow. And I definitely think I'll be coming in on that weight cap. We'll just see where it goes. But you guys can follow along. We're going to be filming, 2-3 times a month, maybe more. Depends on how things go. And get it all in. So you'll be able to follow along and see the whole journey. And I hate that word. See the whole thing as it unfolds. So up until show day, numerous show days. So you can go from seeing fat boy to shredded boy. So tune in, subscribe, and like the video, share it with your friends, and I don't know what that means. What, link down in bio?
Comment.
Huh? Comment. That's the word. Comment. So like, share, subscribe, comment, those things. Please do them. And let's have some fun. And you can see me when I'm dead in fucking 3 weeks time. 3 weeks? 3 months, 3 or 4 months time. And shredded with no face. So there we go.